And we continue our courageous conversation on the long goodbye, an in-depth look at Alzheimer's and its growing impact here in the Ozarks.
Last night, our Daniel Shedd introduced us to Bill and Audrey Curnutt. Tonight, their story continues inside a nursing home, the next step in the progression of a terminal disease.
Okay, call her now.
Fluffy, come here. Come here, girl. Come here, Fluffy. Come here. There you are.
As hard as it is for Bill Curnutt to take a cell phone video of his ailing wife, it beats the pain of having the camera turned on himself.
Good girl.
You just learn to adapt, is the best way of saying it.
And they're beautiful.
It's been nearly a month since Audrey was admitted to a nursing home, now requiring 24/7 care for Alzheimer's disease, a diagnosis she received in 2010.
I have missed Miss Fluffy, but it's busy around here, so she would be not so easy to keep up with.
She claims she's happy at her new residence just down the road, although she often asks where Bill, her husband, goes to sleep each night and can no longer introduce her daughter by name.
It just keeps going and going downward. And it's really sad to watch that happen to a person that you love so much.
It's a slow progressing disease, so somebody gets diagnosed with it in the early stages. It can take 8 to 15 years really before it can become kind of terminal, and that's because it's advanced to the point where the person can no longer eat on their own, they can't swallow on their own, they can't do physical activities per se to care for themselves.
This is the most intense.
To view images of this progression in a brain with Alzheimer's disease, we talked with Dr. John Gamble, the medical director of radiology at Citizens Memorial Hospital in Bolivar. This machine, known as a PET scan, screens the brain for beta amyloid, one of 2 proteins responsible for slowly shutting down functions in a brain with Alzheimer's disease.
This is the most intense or high amyloid plaque deposition down to the blue. So the pink is high, this is blue. So you can see in the outer regions of the brain you have mostly blue on a normal negative scan. But that all fills in and gives you smooth margins rather than these indentations because there's high amyloid buildup in the outer portions of the brain. That is very indicative of Alzheimer's.
Even with the advance of scanning technology, doctors are still unsure of how to stop the spread of the disease. Here's Dr. Curtis Schreiber with the Missouri Memory Center in Bolivar.
The tough question is, how does a person manage, the complications of the progression of disease? When things are tough and it's your family member, the first thing you hear is your heart. And your heart says, I don't want to lose my mom, I don't want to lose my dad. That's quite understandable. But our job, our role as family members and caregivers is to be able to carry out their actions, to speak with their voice, to be able to give instructions to the doctors, nurses, other caregivers about what would mom want done, what would dad want done, if they were able to make those decisions.
For the Curnutts, it's the beginning of a long goodbye.
Yeah, you better come visit.
I'll come and visit. Promise.
Okay.
It's our Daniel Shedd reporting.